Hello YouTubers, it's Travis, welcome back. We are here for another best of 3 draft on MTG Arena, but the draft won't be on Arena, it'll be through the MTGA Draft app. If you watched the first part of Luca's tournament that I posted earlier, this is the second half. So what happened was, as you saw, we played in the first half of that and made it through. So the top 4 players from that pod will play the top 4 players from the second pod. And we're now in the final pod, and this is for all of the marbles. We can't lose a single round if we want to win this thing. We'll be drafting with the Ham TV, Ben Stark, Voxy, Lord Tupperware, Jamie, Icky, and Scott Iannata. So quite the stacked pod, if you don't mind my saying so. And let's see how I do. I hope you enjoy the draft. They shuffled us. So I'm going to be getting passed to by Ethan, Scott, and Icky. All right, we're going to need to read a signal. Sending them I don't think is going to be particularly effective here because we've got to go through Jamie and Ham to get to Ben.
We will see. Yes, we will see.
Graveyard Trespasser isn't a busted rare, but it's a pretty good one. I'm not going to take a gold card here. Unless there was a super high payoff, and I don't think there is for either of these two. There's also just not a solid removal spell, so this is like a default Graveyard Trespasser. If I happen to be in black, this is pretty nice. And if I don't, I suppose the upside is I don't really mind letting it go. So it's got that going for it. All right, Icky, start to tell me a story, bud. Not a lot of story here. Other than that Icky values Faithful Absence about the same as I do. Icky took a common here, huh? That could be Midnight Ambush. It could be a black removal spell or a red removal spell. Or it could have been an Oregon Hoarder. Whew. Okay, well he's aware he passed a decent white card, so that's what we're going to take here. I don't think this card is busted, and I kind of don't like it as a removal spell, but it's certainly playable. I think it's the best card in this pack. That's all we're looking for so far. I think there's a strong chance Icky took an Oregon Hoarder. So you can have some fun with a Ghoulish Procession in black-white specifically, and in blue-black. I've also found the Fangblade to be quite good, and Candletrap to be decent removal. I think I'm on the Fangblade. I don't quite know where we're going yet, and I want to make sure I have a decent power level. I've already got a decent white removal spell if white's open. I think Candletrap is arguably better because this is giving your opponent a card, which I don't dig, but... So here we've got a Strangler and a Dryad's Revival. So who's seen this? 1, 2, 3. Ethan opened this pack and didn't want the Dryad's Revival. All right, let's talk. I hate starting drafts like this, especially in a tournament, but like, I don't know what direction we're going yet. I need to see more cards and settle in. So we've got to try to stay as open as possible. I'm really going to try to read a signal here because I think sending one is somewhat pointless. What's up, Elgeef? Thank you. I have a feeling we might end up, well, I was going to say either red-white or green-white. The Sacred Fire is like, yo, dog, you could be red-white. And I'll be red-white. There's 5 people that didn't want it. So this was Voxy's pack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Oh yeah, fair enough. One. Let's pick 5 for me. If they're 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay. We're about to get Ben's pack. Then Ham's, then Jamie's, then we'll get our opener back. See, I like the Bird Admirer a lot too. And I don't necessarily feel compelled to like stick into red-white, but I suppose I'll take the Commando and just kind of see where this is going. It might be into weird Naya stuff. I think it's pretty obvious that blue and black are getting cut. So we'll need to figure out our direction through the other colors. I like having a main deck Cather Commando a lot.
Blue Sapphire Jubilee. Senpai notice me.
It's good to see you, Tommy. Tervetuloa and Kitos. Y'all spam some senpais for Tommy. This pack kind of stinky dinky. We got an Updog, we got a Startle, we got a Jack-o'-lantern. We got a not much going on here. Is what we got. I think I'm gonna go with the Rejuvenator. Weird Naya might be where we're going. Well, we got not black and blue. That's mostly what we need to know right now. Okay, so this is telling me that blue-green specifically is open. But blue isn't open. So I think where we may be going is something like this so far. Green-white, maybe splashing for Sacred Fire and Fangblade, maybe not. No. I remember talking to Simwife about something I was going to ask you the next time I saw you, and I have no idea what it was. I may end up wanting a combat trick. I could end up wanting a tapping. I probably won't end up wanting a Updog. Yeah, I think if this is the card I'm most likely to play is tapping. Okay, this is about where you'd want to pick up a duel, but I'm happy to see it, and I think this solidifies us in green. So green-white, green-red, green-black, that's basically what I'd be looking to get into. I didn't take the green-blue card earlier because it seems like the whole table's fighting over blue, so I'd rather just stay out of it. Now, here's two still playable blue cards, which makes me wonder, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but if somebody got a dragon or whatever, it's nice to have a plummet. I think we're green, right? With the bird, the rejuvenator, the revival, the duel coming by late. Good evening, Auntie. I've played the Raise the Effigy before, but this card's fine too. Yeah, I think I'd rather tell Jamie that I am not playing blue. You go ahead. You go, girl. Watch me open a great blue card and decide we're doing that. So here's the thing. I suspect that Burn Down the House is still the pick, but we do have open deck lists. So every single person that I play against will know that I have this, which makes it a lot worse. But it's still a strong enough card that you just take it anyway. Yeah, it's still good. It's just like, you're never going to get it, right? I know. I'm just saying. Draft tournaments are better when the deck lists aren't published. That's all I want to communicate. We may not even play it because I'm about this Dawnheart Mentor, and if these wheel, I'll just play green-white. Oh, God, there's a dual craft trainer too, though. I want both of these. What's better, my white or my green? Probably the green. I'd rather go green-red if I had to pick between the two right now. But this is bloody close because that dual craft trainer is really good. That's tough. But I think that makes me looking to do something like this if I can. And if we just continue to get past white cards, we'll do it. And if we get past enough good green and white, I'll just let the Burn Down the House go. Techno Shaman, I was going to ask you if you and Techno Wife had watched Brand New Cherry Flavor. That seemed like a show that might be up y'all's alley too. We've got one episode left. I'm still not sure if we like it. But I think we do. Need to take a green card here. It's kind of gruesome, yeah. I guess we would go with Breaker over the Shadow Beast sighting. Like, I'm just looking at this right now and saying, okay, this is what we're doing. Green stuff because I believe it's open. And then we've got like some reasons to be in white, some reasons to be in red. Yeah, the Fangblade's real good. Agree. Like, I think the red looks better right now. It's just there's not much of it. So I need it to get open and fast. The problem is it just isn't. DFD, I don't know what that is. Duel for Dominance? Way too early to take that. I'll wheel this if we want it. I want this bear. That's kind of what I'm thinking, Auntie, is we could potentially Jund this out or Naya with decent mana. And if I'm base green, I've already got a source on the Rejuvenator. I can probably pick up a Path to the Festival somewhere. It's like if you want early game, you need to play white. I get early game and removal with white. Why would I not just accept this and say we're playing green-white? And then maybe I'm splashing something if I want to. Because the red's not here. I want it to be, but it just isn't. Because, like, this is a solid playable 3-drop. I don't know if the power level's there on that. It kind of isn't. But it's what I'm supposed to be doing. All right, buckle in. We are green-white. We are green-white with the opportunity to splash. Yeah, I got a feeling that green-white is the open color pair here. Which is good, because we're halfway through Pack 2, and we don't have enough playables out of it yet. So this is good news. We've determined the open color pair. Now we just sit back and take the good cards for it. The hard part's done. Now we chill. I'll probably wheel another Join the Dance, which is fine by me too. I think I would like a big dumb green thing, so welcome to the team, buddy. Well, I just think there's an alternate art of this card that's actually carrying a tire. It's a wagon wheel. And I'm like, I don't understand. I'm supposed to be wheeling a couple green cards here and white cards here. If I don't, we're in a little bit of danger. This is a little bit of a concern, but it's not that big a concern, right? Because, like, again, we can totally splash, and if I have to slip out and play the red, we can do that. We can totally do that. Path to the Festival would make it a little more likely that I could pull that splash off. It's just not a really friendly format to something like that. But I think we need to try to scavenge what we can from this. Okay, 2 drops is good. I am wheeling some of what I wanted. So there's like this splash plan that may or may not be part of what we're doing. Like, we're still mostly green. I just got a couple... Yeah, okay, we got all our 2 drops. Neat. What do I do here, y'all? Because there's two choices, the way I see it. We take the dual craft trainer, try to pick up a couple combat tricks, go. Or we grab the Wolfman. We bring in the burning down the house, the immolation, and the Fang Blade Brigade. Troop is not an option in this conversation. No, it's worse than both of those for this deck. I think the answer is Tovalar. And we start thinking about something like this potentially. I don't care which deck is going to be consistent. We're not looking to win some games on the ladder. I care about which deck has the power to win this specific tournament. So it's a very different perspective we're taking today. I do not want a consistent deck. I want a powerful deck. I believe that the people I'm playing with here are all pretty dang good at Limited, which leads me to want to get lucky. Okay, so maybe Icky wasn't in blue, but it's way too late for me to get into it. What a pack. Yeah, we can take the candle in case we punk out and get back into white, although I might want the Bird Admirer, but... They don't have enough playables not to do some kind of splash. We could play tapping. That's not so bad. I'm probably splashing for the Fateful Absence just because I don't have enough interaction. No, it shouldn't have been, not necessarily the bird if we're dropping white wing sphere. Relax, buddy. I'll show you how to do this. Because we're not dropping the white, you see. Boop. I don't have to drop the white. I can play it all. My. An egg in these troubled times. I could flip that egg if I wheel any of this. All right. Let's get her done. Path of the Festival very nearly does it on its own, right? 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it totally does. So Path of the Festival just does it. Burn Down the House very nearly does it. Ignition almost does it on its own. Dryad's Revival does it on its own. Audric's Outrider's pretty good too, but I might actually want an up dog now, just so I have something to do at instant speed. But I think I'd rather have the Pestilent Wolf and make sure that my 2 drops are covered. But if I see another up dog, I may take it. Do we know who we're playing yet? No, not yet. I guess it should be Voxy first, from where we're sitting. I could play a Neonates Rush. That would lead me to believe that people that are drafting red don't want Festival Crashers, right? I would typically only want those in blue or white. Red, black, I don't think wants them. I've at least got a deck here, because like worst case scenario, I can throw in tapping and splash a Sacred Fire and call this a deck. Oh, that Astronomer's nice. So is the Revelation. Oh my goodness. Man, I'm going to believe we can wheel one of those Revelations. Because that Astronomer is really nice. That just makes hands keepable that shouldn't be. So I don't think we can run the Seize the Storm. I think I would run a Crawl Foragers, but if I'm really splashing this, I think we take the land where we can get it. Yeah, the Revelation is very good with the egg, for sure. But there's two more that I could wheel, and if I don't get them, I think I can play without them. Yeah, I think we end up with one. And that gives me 1, 2, 3 spells that just immediately flip the egg. At this point, I'd rather take the Effigy. Because tapping is not terrible here. We're what, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 creatures? I could still run it. I ain't willing that one. I think the Castaway is better than that. I think I'm 150 or so drafts in and I have yet to play Abandon the Post, so I have not found a deck that wants it. Presumably you could play it in red-black. But that deck kind of sucks. I shouldn't need 2 Pestilent Wolves. I can run the Jack-o'-lantern to cycle. We did wheel 1 Revelation. I kind of was expecting to get the Howl of the Hunt or get a combat trick out of this somewhere, and then I didn't. I've certainly lost to it. Ruffian's not the worst thing I've ever seen either. This'll work. This'll work. Alright, give me 1 second. I'm going to run to the bathroom and then we'll make sure we've got this tooled how we want it. Not muted on purpose. Sorry, I clicked the wrong button when I came back from the bathroom. I was just looking at the land count. Gotta get all this junk out of here. We will have full deck lists, so I'll be looking at everything they have on the other side. We're not siding in any blue or black. Oh, we might side in some black, actually. That's fine. If you were seeing the, sure, you can see the arena client. If you're seeing the arena client, you're just seeing me build this deck too. Like, it's fine. All right. I think I dig it. Is there a button to export a deck in here? This is decent against her best draws, so we keep. Most of what I'm scared of from her is a turn 1 Delver or Awakener, and this hand can actually answer that pretty easily. She has a flip the switch, which she obviously doesn't have now. She has a Midnight Ambush, which she could use to kill this, and a Siphon Insight. But I think we still lead with the strongest card here. Like, if she doesn't have the Midnight Ambush, this will run away with the game. She needs to kill this now. So she's on Midnight Ambush or one copy of Defenestrate. She's got the ambush. Okay. She could have Corpse Cobble here, but I don't really need to be that afraid of that. There's nothing else on 2 that I care that much about. That needs to go. I don't know that it needs to go immediately. This is 6, right? Kind of want to fire this off and then bop that with the Faithful Absence. For last card is flip the switch, we're good. And it isn't. Like, she could make a 4/4 with Corpse Cobble, that's about it. But is it Lord or Zombie? Yep, that's still 6, so let's go get our 6. Now I feel relatively confident. Yeah, we've done that before. It's good. I'm gonna have to try to kill her. She got too many cards. I can work with this. I don't think it has lethal here, because I could get an extra 3. That's not lethal. It doesn't really matter where I get the 3 from, right? Like, I could pump it twice, or 3 times, or I could just use this. It's 6 mana for 3 damage either way. Not on the front side, no. It is daytime. I mean, you just go for it here, right? She doesn't have much of a sideboard for me. Yeah, I think we at least want Sacred Fire. The question is that better than another copy of Neonate's Rush? Because I can get the Delver and the Awakener before they flip, and the Scab Wrangler and Jader after they've, even before they've done anything, as well as 1 Vengeful Strangler. I think another Neonate's Rush may just be better than Sacred Fire. And it's not messing with the mana so much either, which is kind of a big deal. What's her flying situation look like? It's got a Falcon Abomination and a Blood Tithe Collector. She's got 2 bounce spells too, which is worth being aware of. That's probably worth cutting the Tireless Hauler on the draw, because this one at least gets ward and would be kind of annoying. Yeah, I think I like going with this. I could see bringing in the Sacred Fire too. Like, if I can answer all of her crap, I should probably do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. God, it would just need another white source, and I don't have one. This Timberland Guide literally doesn't block anything. I'd rather have the bad mana and better cards. Yes, it does 2 damage, which is definitely more than 1. That is a true fact. I'm just not sure how easily she can flip the Delver. There's not that many instants and sorceries in there. That's scary, but we'll try it. This is one of the starts I'm most worried about from her. But I suppose our plan is to hope that she curves out and we're able to burn down the house. It's 5 white sources. That is close enough. You're right. I forgot to count the path. So, like, this is already a pretty significant amount of damage coming in. That'll help some. So are we burning down the house or not? I don't think we're there yet. Careful. I meant to play the Elementalist. I skipped right through the first strike turn. Because she has a flip the switch in hand. Like 100% has a flip the switch in hand. And she's going to kill me with it. Just counter this, please. There we go. So I chump block that. I take 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, crap. Yeah, she's going to kill me. She wouldn't have if I'd cast this last turn. I knew she had the counter spell. But this one's a bit of a challenge because if I don't block the Awakener, she doesn't have to pump it, so I'm just dead. What I needed to do was play the Elementalist the turn before, but I got a little roped up in explaining my play rather than making my play. And just clicked the button too fast. It's alright. I definitely like the addition of the extra Neonates Rush. I knew I couldn't play the Angel Fire Ignition, and I knew she had the counter spell. But this will be easier on the play anyway. That's a start. She can bounce one of them, but I'm pretty sure this has got it. There we go. I like that round better than the second one.
Jalokivitulostin menee prrrr.
Thank you for the bits, Marty.
Smile.
He doesn't have any way to interact with this next turn. We're thinking about flipping it. Which is indicative of him being incredibly short on land drops, which is very good for us. It's an interesting one, right? Because I can take this and get Coven going so that the duels... Yeah, I mean, that's just what you do. Because he's on Gissa, Bat Whisperer... He's going to be at Eaten Alive mana in a minute. He doesn't actually have a sideboard versus me. His main deck's pretty thin. I want the other Rush. And I kind of want the Sacred Fire again too. Well, yeah, it's just better than the 2-drops against Startle. I don't know what the heck he's supposed to be sideboarding here unless he wants to bring in green for duels. And I don't think he would against me. He might think I'm slow enough to bring in the Tome, and I probably am. But the X1 hate is really good against him. He's got a lot of X1s. There's a Malevolent Kermit, the Spectral Adversary, Vampire Interloper, Bait Hook Angler.
Dot.
Dave, thank you for the resub. Y'all spam some cats for Dave. Okay. I'll give it a go. It has some thoughts. Skippity wop pop 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 pow. Does he actually have anything that he could do here? I don't think he does. Yeah, with the open deck list, this is 100% a chump check. There's literally nothing he can have here. Especially if you got an Eaten Alive. Doesn't have a Midnight Ambush. There's not one in his list. Oh, wait a minute. There is one. There is one ambush. You're right. In theory, it could be that. If he doesn't kill this right now, I think we win. But he killed it. I think that was the plan that this hand wanted to try. Last he's got is a Storm Rider Spirit. Okay. Do you need to be in play? Need is a bit of a strong word. I think the Siege Zombie is the biggest threat right now, although I suppose something killing my Wing Shredder would be worse. Stable. counter this. Because you can. Fine if you do. I'm holding 2 lands because I know he has a no way out in his list. There's no reason to get got by that. This might just be our moment. I'm worried about him top decking Glissa. That's Gisa. That's about the only thing I'm worried about from here. Which I could potentially handle, but not guaranteed. There's no counter magic in his list. He's not holding counter magic. I suspect he's done on a creature, and he's starting to try to think about whether or not he should play around Burn Down the House. He has elected not to play around Burn Down the House. He will now be wrecked by Burn Down the House. Still holding the 2 lands because he's got a no way out in there, and there is no reason for that to get me. Like, just absolutely no reason. He can get me with it now because I want to play around him top decking Crawl from the Cellar and getting back Gisa. What did you draw? Startle. So you're going to try to go Startle into Midnight Ambush? Startle plus Sack. Yeah, so he drew a Startle. Okay, okay. That has to be a Startle. It's the only thing that makes any sense at all. And I can beat that. This ought to have it. Open deck lists definitely alter the game. You can figure out exactly what your opponent has. I don't think there should be open deck lists in limited tournaments, but there are. So if you use them. I'm attempting to kill my opponent, not a 3-2. I don't think he has anything to get out of this. Like he'd have a Storm Rider Spirit. Yeah, that'll do. Finals hype engage. All right, so we're going to be playing Jamie for the finals, and I'm looking, I guess I may as well let you guys see it too. I'm looking at her deck list now. Well, that means that a good player is going to win either way, but everybody participating in this was good people, eh? I mean, her deck is just all aggro all the time. If I can survive the early rush, we're good. She's got a good bit of burn, too. I'm definitely going to want to bring in the Sacred Fire and the other Neonates rush. It's a solid deck. But she can miss land drops too, eh? All right, here we go. Huh. That's almost reasonable keep. It's not just tempting, it's incredibly tempting. How big a risk am I taking? I can miss one land drop. I think against her deck specifically, I'm really happy with this. Yeah, it's on the play. That's what's making this incredibly gutsy, but she's going to have a one drop, and I have to be able to kill it, and this hand can do that. This aspect is not really ideal. Wonder if my best bet is to try to get the egg going and kill her. Because I think it might be. The one advantage I have is a removal suite isn't great. It's, well, okay. I was gonna say it's a foul play and 2 slashes. That's about all I got. This can't actually block anything, can it? Yuck. Man, I'm making some hard choices in this tournament. How many of you would have the guts to do that? Huh, because I have to hit a forest. I can't draw that. I had a forest, we're still playing Magic. And maybe even likely to be a little bit ahead. In theory, it could, but I don't have time for that. I need the top card to be a forest, because I can get it back with this if I have to. She also has another Diregraph Horde, so I don't think I can count on getting this back. Good grief. I also think we're mostly just dead. No, it's okay. She also has 3 copies of Stolen Vitality. I can't actually afford to play around anything here, so I'm not going to. stable. Scooch. I'm gonna need Burley to do some heavy lifting here. She's doing math on if she can kill me. You can't. Don't. Stop doing that. No, not like this. Oh, crap. It's got to be this. This can beat one of them, not two of them. I want to try to make sure she can't kill the breaker, but she can still kill the breaker. She doesn't have Lunar Frenzy. She has 3 copies of Stolen Vitality in this deck, as well as 2 Slashes and a Neonate's Rush. It's not ideal, but we can work with this. I'll need 5 more immolations, please. Dude, never be sorry to open birthday presents with your kid, dude. Go have a good time. Challenge 2 and what she's going to bring in, because she's got things like Shady Travelers, Mounted Dread Knight, Electric Revelation. She's got a Smoldering Egg of her own. Like, she could do a transformational size board here. And I have to play around frickin' Blade Brand now. I don't want to play around Blade Brand, but I have to because she could bring it in. Okay. Just too slow. She's eating most of my graveyard anyway. It's got to get you out too then. Have a good one, Pass Dog. It's a keep. Glad you like it. I like it too. The black source is good. You're gonna have to use a card. It's a Stolen Vitality. We all know that, but we need to make her do it. Don't really need that. Another white source, I think, got a cap. This is going to feel good. Because she's got another Stolen Vitality. And I believe has just now recognized what card I have in hand if she's looking at the deck list. Let's draw back up. Good turn or okay turn? I could have done that better. It's okay. I forgot this thing had an activated ability. Oh, it's only on the backside. Okay, never mind. I'm good. Yeah, I can buy a lot more nuggets with that. So many nuggies. I wanted to get a good game in time, but I didn't. Alright, that ain't so bad, y'all. That is how you win a tournament. Cheers. Let me see if Luca wants to talk at all. Sometimes he does. If he does, I will warn you, I've talked to Luca a dozen times. He's freaking awesome. I have never had a conversation with him where he doesn't curse. So if he wants to say hello, and you got babies listening, probably not a great idea. But I'll just give it a minute in case he wants to babble, and then I'm going to go hang out with some wife. Thank y'all for tuning in on a Saturday. It was fun. Yeah, I think they're good. Okay, Luca wants to talk. I thought he might. See if is he going to call me or am I going to call him? Hey, what's up, Luca?
Hey, hello, everybody. Well, congratulations, man. You took it all out of all these great drafters.
Thank you very much, and thank you for encouraging me to kind of continue playing Midnight Hunt. I was about ready to give up on this whole format until you stopped by and had a little chat with me, and it's been a lot more fun since getting your perspective on that. So thank you for that, and thank you for putting this tournament together. That was a lot of fun.
No problem. Okay, I didn't even know that that affected you in the end. I'm glad that it did. And well, it got you here. Did you expect to win the whole thing?
I expected to have a good time and to have really good competition, but I talked to Simwife this morning and said before I go in there, I'm going to try to play the best that I can and make the best decisions, and then we'll see who wins. So I kind of didn't expect to win, just to do my best and see where that got me, and I'm very thrilled that it got me the first place. That's cool.
And there was one big turn, like when you decided to lose your tutu to the Jamie's. We were just discussing this. We were casting your match, by the way, Akil and you blocked the tutu when she had a 1-1 out and could have gotten the first strike. I think that was a huge, huge turn for you, right? Because you knew that. What was going to remind when you did that? When you choose to just lose the only creature that you have on the field.
You mean that last game where I traded the
Yeah.
Timberland guide?
Yeah.
She's got 3 copies of the combat trig, dude. Like, and she's telegraphing that she has it. And she also is indicating to me that she's got a landlight hand, because otherwise she would never use a card to force through that damage. So it's like, I don't see any other play there. You just slam it right in front of it and get the card out of her hand. Like that hand.
And I agree.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's the only play you've got there.
I agree completely. And you knew, like you just, next turn, you're not going to have anything, right? Next turn it's going to be getting that land, getting that white land and trying to get to that mid-game late game.
Well, I learned from Michael Jacob a long time ago that if you don't block or attack with your creatures, then you've basically let your opponent Doomblade it for free. So it's like, it has to just jump under this bus.
And especially when Jamie has that, would you block that if she had 3 mana? I
No.
think she had only 2.
Yeah, no way. If she's got the 3 mana, I'm not going to give it to her for free. It was because she only had the 2, which to me is saying I don't have enough lands. I'm going to use a whole card to get rid of a 2/2. Like, hell yeah, let's do it.
Okay, that's interesting because she has those 2 ambushers. That is the reason why she won against Tiki, because he had the 2/2, same scenario, but she had 3 lands up. And he didn't block. And then Jamie just snowballed completely out of control in the next 2 or 3 turns because of that ambusher, right? That deals 2 damage and kills the 2/2 in the end.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting. Like save the creatures. I would expect for you to block as well, even if she has that, because if she starts playing a little bit slowly, right, against your deck,
That's probably going to benefit us. Yeah, so after thinking about it, I probably should have. I don't know that I would have. How's that? Huh.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I mean, we were talking when you started the finals. Did you think you were gonna take it? Like when you saw her deck against
No.
yours, what
No.
was on your mind?
I looked at all of the deck lists and I said that the most likely path for us to get there is for me to play Scott in round 2, which I did, and then for me to play Icky in the finals. I thought I had a much better shot against his deck than I did Jamie's. So
Yeah,
I was a
makes
little nervous about this going in, but I think some tight play and a little bit of luck with the draws got us there in the end. Okay,
Yeah,
a
'cause
lot of luck
you're-
with the draws.
It helped that she played for that. Ekil and I agreed. She played around the board wipe and didn't play the Horde 1 turn earlier, and that just gave you a way to get back into the game by playing the creatures. And you didn't have the board wipe at that point.
But I
So
drew
that
it.
was you drew it a few turns later, right? But that was a huge turn because she decided I'm not gonna play. I'm gonna play around board wipe and wait a little bit.
So what did you think of my one land keep on the play?
Wait, when was that?
The first game we sit down, my first keep was a one lander on the play.
We were like 15 seconds too late for the first match. Wait, you kept the one lander in the first one?
Yeah, okay. You didn't know. Now you know.
No, it looked completely fine.
Okay,
We
yeah,
were
it
like,
did.
Okay. It looked like we came into the match, I don't know, 50 seconds late, something like that. And it's like, oh, okay, they both have a fine start. Let's see what happens.
Okay, good.
How come you kept it?
I again felt that my deck was a little disadvantaged against her, but it had a mountain, it had an immolate, and it had the obsessive astronomer. And I was like, if I can hit one land, I can find more. I'm 74% to hit a land in 2 draws, and I can kill a turn 1 play, which I'm going to have to against her.
So I was more concerned by the one that I saw. Last game you kept a hand with no 2-drops, no 3-drops, except the card that searches for land, the festival.
Yeah, but you get to draw more cards, right? I mean, and 6 is definitely less than 7.
It's true, but I would be very afraid of her deck. Like, of course, you don't have enough 2-drops, like in objective perspective, without, in theory, you don't have enough 2-drops and 3-drops to deal with her aggression, usually. But I would be very afraid to have my first thing, have a good chance to hit the board. You got it in the end, like that 2-2 mattered a lot. And you had, what did you have? You had the ignition in your hand, right?
I had the one that lets me fetch out a land, so I knew we would at least get our land sorted and that the ignition could come later.
Yeah, it's just I understand. I think I understand why I kept. It's like if I play Ignition, the game is probably over, right?
Yeah.
At one point, but yeah.
But I
Very
keep
interesting.
almost all the hands, Luca. You know that if you've watched me for 2 seconds. Like there needs to be a real problem for me to mull. But that hand, I could again see where that one goes, but it really won more because she stumbled than because it was a wonderful keep.
I mull a lot of hands.
Yeah.
I'm mull a ton. Mull to 5, mull to 4.
I know we're the
It's,
opposite ends of that spectrum. So and there's value in both, I think. But like I suppose I'm a natural optimist.
You can put it in that way. I just can't one land. I cannot see one land and keep it. There are rare situations where I do, but it's. I mean, this is the kind of tournament where you do keep one landers when you have full information on the whole deck the opponent has. I do sometimes keep one landers if I feel like my deck needs to get a little bit lucky to win. And then like, okay, let's get a little bit lucky. I don't want to play with like 2 less cards than the opponent or something. So yeah, it makes sense.
I would have mulled that in the dark if we're just playing, best of 3 drafts on Arena. But in a scenario where I'm playing in a pod of 8 phenomenal drafters, I need to get a little bit lucky to win. So that's where I start looking at the odds there and decide to keep a shaky hand like that. Because I think the closer the skill level gets between the drafters, and Jamie's very good, then the more I need to rely on the luck factor and the variance to get me there.
It's true. It's true. You do in these kind of pods during the drafting, during the gameplay, you need a little bit of luck to get there, and very happy that you acknowledge that. It definitely is. For example, like there were some completely broken decks in. Yours was not the one out of the broken decks in the first pod, where you had an easy deck and you just won the first game pretty fast against me.
Yeah.
But yours was not the one out of the 3 top decks. Those 3 were far ahead of everything else.
They were.
And it felt like the 5 of us were fighting for the 4th place there. So one, because those 3 did advance in the end. And that's that a little bit of luck factor, right? Because everybody knows what the good cards are. You know that people are not going to be, you're going to get 4 hoarders because everybody's passing them. No, you're going to get 4 hoarders if you open them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's something to that too, in that I feel like every seat has a deck that it's supposed to draft. And sometimes that deck is a 6 out of 10 and it looks kind of bad, but it's the best deck you could get in your seat. And I felt like that's the situation I was in that first pod, was I wasn't going to get a good deck. That seat couldn't get a good deck, but it could get a playable blue-red creature deck, which is not even really a thing in this format, but that's what I was able to do.
Exactly. It was funny when I saw it, when I saw your deck in the first pod. Like, this is just creature. This is not...
Yeah.
Spells do not matter in this deck. This is just... he's going to play it like, I don't know, like a Demir deck. Like you play creatures or...
Yeah, it was a core set deck, man.
Yeah. But it was... You were, I think, a pretty big favorite to win that against me. And then I don't know who you faced later on. I think everybody was lucky who got me as their opponent. So...
Well, it's nice of you to let everybody else win for a change, Luca. It's appreciated.
Like, I had 1 2-drop that can block. That's it. That's the early game.
There you go. That's enough.
It's enough to get O2. Okay, so do you have anything else to add? I don't know, whatever. Tell us about your stream, whatever.
Yeah, come by. I stream predominantly best of 3 drafting on MTG Arena. It's at twitch.tv/Semulin, and I have a YouTube. You can ! YouTube in my chat. I put drafts up every day. I'll be putting this one up, and I put the first pod up there too, so people can see that. And I just, again, want to say a big thank you to you for organizing this tournament, to you and Ianos for like getting everything going. This was very smooth, very fun, an absolute blast, and all of the competitors were top notch.
Yeah, it was great, and thank you very much for the compliments. But it's no problem at all. This is the best part of anything that I play, like competing against great drafters. That's even if I got kicked out very very hastily, it's amazing. And just watching you guys draft in the finals in the pod too. So and thank you so much for the mana traders because well we have a prize pool and that's beautiful.
Oh yeah, heck yeah. Y'all, everybody watching on both channels, check out Mana Traders. They're the ones for Magic Online, right?
Yep. They are the ones that rent decks, cards, and so on for Magic Online. So if
Yeah.
you need that, please go there. Go there now, so they see that they got some extra traffic, so they're gonna sponsor maybe the next showdown.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, man. Well, thank you for coming here, and thank you for kicking me out of the tournament and winning the tournament.
All right, bud.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Okay, see ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Whew, all right, there we go. That was a satisfying event. Ethan, thank you very much for the raid. We're just kind of spooling down now as we just finished. But we got there. Andy, thank you for the gift subs. For raiders coming over from Ethan's stream, we do best of 3 Magic here, generally speaking on the weekdays. That was a hell of a tournament. I really enjoyed that. And Luca's a joy to talk to. Just all over good people involved in this. Ethan, some of the best. I said someone we were playing against Ethan the other day, what a good dude he is. Like, everybody here was great. But I'm going to call it here. I'm not actually feeling 100%. So I'm going to go have some dinner and hang out with some wife. If I'm feeling a little better, at some point over the weekend, we may do the Pony Island stream. And it may be one night next week. But I think I want to do it. That sounds fun. That sounds fun. All right, thank you all so much. And a big thank you to my patrons. Thank you for supporting the work that I'm doing here on YouTube. Paul, Jesse, Punk, Rusty, Adrian, Hero, Joe, Jesse, Jacob, Scott, Fasty, and Rich. Thank you very much. If you'd like to become a patron as well, there's a link below to my Patreon. You can see your name up here in lights as well as get some other cool rewards. Thank you very much.